What's going on, guys? So, what a disappointing game. I really don't even know where to start. I got my tweets written down here on my phone. I'm gonna go and take those out and just from early on in the game. So I can start from the very beginning, which where it looked like it was gonna get ugly early on in that first quarter. And then we'll go from there. And make sure you're following me on Twitter, by the way, if you aren't already. It's Real Fratagonia. I said I gotta go way back. I tweeted a lot during the game today. Okay, first tweet is: did we do anything to prepare for Myles Garrett? And I'll talk about that for a minute. So this to me falls on head coach, falls on offensive coordinator who draws up the plays. First, we go with Terrence Steele guarding Myles Garrett one-on-one. And after Terrence Steele, it's Brandon Knight guarding Myles Garrett one-on-one. It didn't work, and it was never going to work. And I was kind of hoping that Myles Garrett would be attacking from both sides, but he was attacking a lot on that right side. He is a right defensive end. And, man, we got crushed. There were no tight ends out there double teaming and just helping out with Myles Garrett. I don't understand that. That to me is on coaching. It's on the offensive coordinator for not drawing up those kind of plays. Where's Ezekiel Elliott and the pass blocking game? I mean, you've got to do better on protecting that right side. Obviously, it was better from the left with Tyron Smith out there, and that could have allowed us to do extra. The fact that we didn't bring Brandon Knight in at right tackle immediately just shocks me. So we prepared all week with Terrence Steele as the starting right tackle. And I don't even think Brandon Knight really did any better on that right side. We had to double team more, and we should have known that. Myles Garrett just wasn't double teamed throughout the game, and it hurt. Now I'm looking next tweet is Darian Thompson and Terrence Steele. So again, the first touchdown of the game, just Darian Thompson trying to make a play on a ball that's 5 feet away from him. Just no coverage. Just another blown coverage by Darian Thompson, and it's frustrating. And at that point, I was already getting annoyed. But then good things started to happen. So we'll look at the tweets even more. Tony Pollard returning kick. So that was one other negative thing. And he did have one return out to like the 25 where it was just average enough where it kind of looked good. But again, why is he still returning kicks? Cedric Wilson is the one that needs to be doing it. So we finally were able to give Dak some time, and he started making throws. And, man, CeeDee Lamb was good in this game. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about Dak. Guys, it was tough at times. But overall, I don't think he was really a big problem. I'm not going to say he wasn't part of the problem at all, because that fumble was kind of half on him, right? It was half on the offensive line for giving him zero time. I think it was Terrence Steele on the sack where he fumbled. But he holds on to the ball a little too long sometimes, especially when we know we're missing help on that offensive line. You can't hold on to the ball too long. I'm not going to give Dak too much flack. Although there were some throws where he just kept throwing it right to the opponent's hands. I mean, that could have easily been a 3-interception game, but it wasn't. So we got to look at, did anything he really do lead to the Browns scoring 49 points? And no, I'll put half of a fumble on him. And so he was not really part of the problem. And he fought till the end of the game. The defense, the rest of the team, I just didn't see much fight. The rest of the offense, I've already talked about the offensive line, and it's mostly just right tackle. And they were bad, and they were schemed poorly because we didn't help out on that right side at all. And so it kind of dwindles down from there. We struggle to run the ball, but, I mean, Zeke kind of did his thing. Again, it comes down to that fumble. That hurt us, and it was really inopportune timing because Dak fumbles the ball. They get an easy touchdown because he fumbles on the 30, right, at the start of a drive. Inopportune timing. We get the ball out. Finally got a couple good plays going. Zeke fumbles the ball. And it seems like at that point, the defense was just done. I mean, there was no getting stops or anything from there. And that was rough, guys. I'm going to look at some more tweets. Nice tackle, D-Law. So before I get to that, I do want to mention the receivers were really good, right? That was the best position today. They were making some crazy catches. They were missing a couple crazy catches, but they almost made some catches that were nuts. I'm thinking of like that one-handed catch that Amari Cooper almost made. That was just insane. But I mean, we definitely can't blame the receiver core. I got a comment from Emmett from Boston. This is crazy, bro. We stink. Yeah, absolutely, man. First off, thanks for coming. I hope you enjoy my channel. If you do me a big favor and smash that subscribe button. But yeah, man, we sucked. There's really no good excuses, and I'm going to break it down, but then I'm going to start to hold some people accountable because this was pretty bad. But let's get back to defensive end. Ian Machino, you're a Falcons fan. What's going on, Ian? How are you, man? Welcome. I wish the Browns would have pulled a Falcons, but they didn't. Appreciate it, Emmett. But anyways, yeah, so D-Lob, I thought he made some plays finally, mostly on the rushing end, which he's like the only guy that made plays, right? They were able to run the ball at will. It was embarrassing. And this is where we got absolutely destroyed, was on the line of scrimmage. The defensive line just got no push whatsoever, and it went from there down. So guys were missing tackles left and right. Linebackers were. I'm looking at you, Jalen Smith, Joe Thomas, all the safeties. Cowboys X Factor. Cowboys were so close and yet too far away. Emmett's not impressed with McCarthy. And X Factor says, where was the scoring earlier in the game? So, yeah, we'll start with how we were never really in the game until we were, but then it was just too little too late. And that's becoming kind of an oncurring theme with the team, right? And Emmett, I'm going to get to McCarthy later. But yeah, I mean, we did it a million times last year, right? So we struggle when the defense is fresh and they're bringing pressure and we can't run the ball and we keep making stupid mistakes. It's 1st and 10, but we get a dumb penalty and it's 1st and 15, that kind of thing, or 3rd and 10 and 3rd and 15. But yeah, to me, it comes down to the defense, and the first half has just been atrocious to start the season. And there's really no excuses. Like I said, the defensive line is getting no push. At least I saw a little bit of life from DeMarcus Lawrence at stopping the run. I didn't see that we could get after Baker, and I thought they just out-schemed us. And at the end of the day, Kevin Stefanski out-coached us. They were running play action left and right, and we were coming from the wrong side every time. And it seems like once the motion happened, the defensive end kind of stood there like a deer in the headlights before he started chasing Baker. And once Baker got that ball out, man, it was too little too late. The offense, once Cleveland started playing those soft zone coverages and just sending 3 or 4 in the second half, yeah, we were able to move the ball and Dak was able to do his thing. But guys, we lost that game in the second quarter. There is no doubt about that. I'm going to look up some more of my tweets, see if I said anything that's worth repeating. The Nick Chubb injury sucks. Yeah, so let's bring up how I think the Browns, at least at some point in the game, were averaging like 10 yards per carry. Guys, the wheels fell off in this game. We weren't a horrible run-stopping team going into this game. I'm not saying we're great at it, but, man, we looked a lot better against Seattle and all these other teams, even the Rams. And, man, the wheels just fell off. We were giving up 10, 12 yards, and not to Nick Chubb, not to Kareem Hunt. I mean, we were, but also to Dontrell Hilliard and who's the other guy? Dearness Johnson. I mean, we got 3rd, 4th-string running backs who are making like $400K a year coming in, just running all over our $1 million Jalen Smiths of the world, right? So that was just embarrassing. It was frustrating. And I'm going to finish going through the tweets. Yeah, Darryl Worley. So the secondary was also really bad. Darryl Worley got picked on. Xavier Woods looks like he needs a Pro Bowler next to him to look like a starter. And now I'm going to bring up, do we make any personnel moves this week? I mean, like Jerry Jones, when we get embarrassed like this at home, I mean, this is typically when he makes the Amari Cooper move, because we need a move like that. But guy, is one guy even going to make the difference? I mean, I've been saying it all week. I don't think Earl Thomas is that guy. And, leave me a comment if you think I'm wrong, but it just seems like players don't even want to play with him at this point. That's what came out of Houston today, is that guys in the locker room just didn't want him in the locker room with them. Now, if I'm management in Dallas, I'm going to tell the players it doesn't really matter what you want at this point. You're not producing. So if we want to bring in a guy who we think can perform better, then we're just going to do it, and you're going to make do. But I just don't know if it's going to happen. The rushing defense, it was so bad. Do we need a guy like Snacks Harrison? Will it even help? Will it even make a difference? Or is it just coaching and scheme is that bad? And it does seem like right now, man, Mike Nolan, his days could be numbered very early. I'm not a fan of, especially when you have first year, brand new head coaching, bringing in a brand new head coach. Or I think you at least got to give McCarthy till the end of the season, because I think he could still turn some things around. But the first guy that's going to go, if this keeps happening, is going to be Mike Nolan. And I don't know if he'll last through the season if things get much worse. Because, guys, I mean, it was bad. We knew what to expect, and they just out-game planned us. We knew their receivers were going to be tough, and we just got burned left and right, and got burned deep again. Those safeties, man. And maybe it wasn't a 50-yard throw, but it was the one where Darryl Worley got burned. Or no, the first one when Darian Thompson got burned. That was all on Darian Thompson. I mean, he's 5 yards away from the guy. It's just crazy. So now we got to talk a little bit about coaching and about the GM. To be honest, and it didn't end as bad as it started, because after that second quarter, I'm thinking typically this is a time where you're not going to fire your brand new head coach. This is probably where the GM gets fired. And, Jerry's not going to fire himself. He's not going to fire Stephen Jones. But, man, you bring in a new head coach with some experience, and it just kind of bombshells. I mean, we have one win so far this year, guys, against a not-so-great team, and we kind of pulled that one out of our backside as well. Pulled it out of the hat. So, yeah,